Hey everyone, this is Dan. I'm coming to you today because a lot of you clicked on an app that you wish you didn't, an app that went ahead and borrowed you a picture and other things. And what I'm going to tell you is that you don't need to borrow apps like this and that you can make your own lenses. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use Snapchat Lens Studio. Here we go. Basic overview in Snapchat Lens Studio. Wonderful piece of software. This is one very slight version behind a few bug fixes. And Snapchat Lens Studio is really efficient. You're really going to enjoy it. And I've been teaching this for a couple of years in my class on small screens. And I'm going to go through a couple of filters with you today that I think are going to help you understand what filters are and how to make your own for fun and profit. So let's take a look at my very favorites. One of the very first ones you should learn. It's called Baseball Cap. Here's me, Dan. Yep, wearing my baseball cap. It's very warm in here. Here are the basic panels we have in the system. I'm going to switch this over to a static image. It's just a static image of an individual. A lot of static images available, like this woman with a cat. You'll discover there already are features available to map and picture a cat. Up here in the corner, you see that we have buttons to do things like publish our lens. We want to generally keep it under 3 megabytes. If we can, absolute max is 4, but really small is better. Project info, you can switch that up. You can say what we'll work on. You can change the image. You can add additional objects. You can do this in a layer mode to see what it's doing in different orders, the render mode to see what's rendering at different points, and of course, the default parent-child mode. Additional items can be added down here. Your lens environment is over here to your right, where we can toggle between scene styles. And we have core controllers, which in this case, that's my kid who fell asleep, which is why I'm making this video now, which allows to control more things. And finally, your preview window, where we can look either at live previews, like this one, static previews, and a variety of static previews are available, including ones that work with object tracking features and live videos. I'm just going to go back to a regular photo of her with cat. If you need to switch modes or to show this on different devices, that's all available. You can also take screenshots, turn on and off the sound that's in a filter, and of course, send this as a video of what the filter looks like to your client. All right, in this case, your client is you because we're making cool stuff for fun. Basic controllers over here. Let's be political. Face retouch. This is troubling. So the face retoucher, as we can see, wants you to whiten everyone, whiten their teeth, whiten their eyes, and soften their skin. If we go ahead and look at what this does in our simulation on the far right, we disable it, it really does change her, right? I think it's actually a much more real and vivacious image to have this turned off. The defaults here in your templates typically do it to some degree. We can also look at what it's like when we turn it all the way up. Let's make her skin really, really soft. As soft as it gets, she just keeps getting, I guess, lighter, which is troubling. We can make the eyes really sharp, makes them whiter and whiter and whiter, right? So there is a look here which would seem to have the glowing eyes, whatever else, and I would guess this sort of smooth skin. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. I don't like it. I'm not crazy about editing people in this way because I think it leads to what Jennifer Stevens Aubrey calls self-objectification, and that is really a bummer, and there aren't any positive things about it for the most part. Face paints, right? So we've got our face paints. We'll turn off the primary. Boom. Secondary. Boom. One fun thing is how incredibly awesome our documentation is. So in this middle panel, you see we have a camera that sends you in our face that has the things put on it. Here then we have the script properties that tell us all about how we're using the baseball cap script. Now, you're never going to change this. Instead, what we're going to actually change is this thing that says Edit Me. And this is where Snapchat gives you really, really easy ways to go on ahead and change how the system works in its entirety, right? So I can change out this logo. You can add anything you want. You can go import whatever it is. So I switched it to sheep. So I got a sheep logo. Maybe I don't like that pink. Maybe I want bright yellow, something that really, really pops. Go ahead and press OK. This is on my secondary screen. And there we go. So now I've got a purple and yellow hat for the sheep. But this isn't very hip, is it? So I'm going to go ahead and deep brim that. There we go. Nice flat. Just swivel it up. There we go. So it's just banging that hat a little bit to the left. It's got a nice flat brim. Let's go ahead and put that on myself. Yes, I am here drinking a Spindrift. No, I'm not being paid by Spindrift. Oh yeah, that's a nice hat and very hip. It's just like, yep, I'm wearing this hat with a sheep on it. Super duper. Go ahead and turn that off. So the thing we've got going for us here is a very simple set of controls that can let us do a lot of things to our individual and their face. Now, there are a lot of projects, dozens of templates, and one that I think you'll really enjoy would be sunglasses. So we're going to open that project up now. Sunglasses is just another great template. In this case, it's got sunglasses, obviously, but a few other things going for it as well. Notice she's got that on. Take a look at this, sunglasses controller, frames, very nice. Put this on live. Now I've got my sunglasses. You notice they're positioned. You notice they're reflective of the things around me. That is a very nice piece of software. You also can add reflection textures. You can change things about exposure, right? To make them even more intense, a little more psychedelic. You can also change up the kinds of them, like, aviators maybe put nerd glasses on me. That's right, I'm wearing nerd glasses, they're glossy. And there's so many different pieces available. An interactive, for example. Let's not use an interactive. Let's use, a hand mapper. I don't have a pet. If we open this, you'll see we'll be able to map our pet. So it's going to go ahead and look for my hand. In my hand, once it sees it, it's going to track back with it. If it doesn't see my hand, it gives me a hint, look for hand. Okay. Now you're going to say, Dan, how's this working? Take a look over here. You can switch up the scene. We have just a regular head. So here we have the hand tracking controller, which allows us to control which animation we have. We obviously could grab some other hand thing to put on the hand. In our orthographic camera, we have our hint, we have the hand tracker itself. The hand tracker is on standard settings, right? All of this makes a lot of sense. Now, how does it see your face? Now we come in here, we can see that it has this face map. Notice this mouth here with all these geometric shapes. When it reads your face, and this is how all of these systems work, they're reading from certain landmarks, like right here, middle of your eye. They're reading then for the corners of your eye, where your lips are, where your head is. There are like 23 points here, basically, and they're reading for all of it. And by reading for it, then, it knows that you're supposed to be using a head binder that then pops this right onto the middle of your head. And that's a really useful thing to know, right? Because you can put anything you want on the head. You could put a badge on the head. You could make hats for a wedding. I have done that. People regularly do that, in fact, now, which is very important. You can basically put anything you want wherever you want. Now, I'm going to go ahead and grab another project for a second. So we're getting started. Let's go ahead and use a distort project. Now, I hate distort projects. I think they are ugly and gross and not good, but we'll use one for a second. So now we're here. We see it's a warping project. We put it on me. There we go. It's a project that makes my mouth extra huge. I just don't think they're that interesting. But this does start to tell you about how to build your own aging filter, right? So if we can remap something onto the same spot where it was, in this case the mouth or the eyes, we can modify it. So we have liquefied point eyes here. And you see we have our liquefaction point, which then we can zoom in, and we can see there it is. We can change it, right? We can actually pull it back. We can make it distort a little less, right? Because it's always a little better. Right? It's a little less intense. There we go. Now it's actually going to be a little bit creepy. The other eye will do the same thing, pull it way back, put the intensity way back. Interesting. Let's attach points to the left eye. Let's touch that. Let's put it somewhere else. Let's put it on the forehead. There we go. You see the face stretch. You notice the face stretch here is controlled by, wait for it, these maps. So you could actually then copy this over. You pull out the ears if you want. Let's change up this picture. Let's make it person 4. Notice now she has this strange chin. I don't think these are particularly interesting. For whatever reason, people still do use them on Snapchat. You could go ahead and start to work on giving her a smile if you want, a frown, whatever suits you for the person's face. Let's go to something a little less team celebration. That's just a classic. Team celebration, notice it's just gonna have it's got a very small footprint here. What it really wants to do is just copy onto your face. Let's go ahead and get a pair of people. There we go. That's face index 0. It puts a logo on the eye. And now you notice something here. It puts a word on the top of you. One of my students made a beautiful kitten nipple application that said, "You gotta be kidding me." And my grade for it was, "This is perfect." So you notice we have different verticals then set up, and we can change them. We can change the colors, right? All of these things are editable. Like there's no reason why you should be downloading an app to do this when you can go in here and play with it for 10 minutes and change everything up. So here's basically my thing. At any point, you can copy any part of the face and move it anywhere else you want it. You can change the colors. You can paint it. You can sharpen it. You can de-sharpen it. You can add textures from other places. You could copy someone's hair over it and make it salt and peppery. You can stretch the face in any way you want. What I'm telling you is there is no reason for you to download a random app or inclusion on your Facebook or anything else when you can go and make your own super duper cool Snapchat filters that are one of a kind for you and your friends that then can spread like wildfire for your organization with just a few minutes of work. I mean, this video has been, 12 minutes long? And I think I've gone over most of the key things you need to know to actually successfully play around with this. The most important thing, where it says edit it, edit it. Where it says don't edit it until you're ready, okay? Hopefully this has helped you get some sense of what you can do here, what the possibilities are. If we were doing this in person, the software demo alone is about 45 minutes long. But the key point for you here is don't download random apps to modify your face when this is just a very standard thing that you should actually be doing for yourself and your organization. If this is something that you're interested in, I'd be happy to make some more examples of this, go through some more things, even put up some pieces that might help people realize that they should be making their own stuff and not necessarily relying on downloading random things that become popular. Have a great day.